Welcome to the Spiritual Phoenix Podcast, a weekly podcast about alchemy, spirituality, mysticism, magic, and more. What is up, everybody? It is Ross. I hope you are enjoying your holidays. I am releasing this on Christmas Eve, so you have a week to kind of instill this into your life if it resonates with you, or at least consider it if it would work for you. For me personally, I tried this approach to my New Year's goals last year, and it seemed to work out a lot better to set something that I wanted to instill in a positive way rather than trying to overcome some negative habit or change something in that sense. And although I'm not typically a big fan of law of attraction, I saw this to be somewhat of a manifestation of law of attraction. Last year, my goal was allow life to unfold. And at times it was very easy to embody that, and in other times it wasn't. But one of the things that I've found in retrospect is sometimes allowing myself to be frustrated, to feel upset, and to feel a certain way is 10 times more empowering and takes so much more self-intimacy than to shut that out and to shut it off and tune out from my emotions. Largely growing up, I was taught to tune out from those, and I think a lot of us are. And a huge part of healing is being present with how we feel and not being controlled by it. So allowing things is not always pleasant. In the upcoming year, I'm choosing 2 words, and that would be attraction and expansion. And I think that that's very fitting for where I'm at in life right now. I need to expand my network in the social sense. I need to expand my horizons in as far as where I want my goals to go. I need to expand my efforts in a business sense. I need to expand out of my current living situation and find something that's more suitable for where I'm at, because it's becoming very stifling and it's not a good feeling anymore. It's served its purpose and I'm moving away from that now. And as far as attraction, I've really shifted my focus on relationships to understanding that I'm going to be better off investing my energy working on myself to attract what I want. And that's the funny thing. People have given me that advice, just work on you and the right person will show up. But they never explained it in the simple terms that made the big switch for me as to why attraction is important. And it's largely, I invest a lot of energy in the wrong people, and I try to fit these people in the mold of who I would want them to be in my life, or I try to fit in the mold of who they are looking for. And I wonder why I'm not getting the attention that I would like in a relationship. And it's largely because it's not based on the proper things. And I just need to live my life and do the right things, and the right circumstances will present the right people over time. And I will attract them and get the proper type of romantic connection rather than just looking for somebody to fill that space. But the other element of attraction would be drawing in the right experiences that I need on a social level, attracting the right opportunities for my business, attracting the right groups of people for personal expansion, attracting the right books to read. There's so much that goes into expansion and attraction, and in some ways they're very much related. Because if you think about it in a sense of, if you attract the right information, you can use it to expand. And as you expand, you're more likely to attract other things. So there's this kind of synergistic inertia associated with them. But as far as cultivating your New Year's involution, as I called it last year, which involution is kind of a personal evolution, attempt to use positive, uplifting words. Speak from the sense of adding more to it, and really focus on empowering yourself with those choices, not beating yourself up for past behaviors. So when I quit smoking, I originally tried with stop smoking, no smoking, quit smoking, all of these words, none of which are very pleasant. But when I finally made the transition to no longer smoking cigarettes, it was based upon better choices. Better choices to me has a multitude of different meanings, but one of the most immediate better choices that I could make was no longer ingesting poison into my lungs and diffusing it into the rest of my body. So when we begin to focus on choices like that, it becomes better. And if we say things like, I want to attract relationships, I think that it's implying that we're attracting the right people in there already. Oftentimes, I think one of the biggest stumbling blocks that we come across on our personal journeys is not understanding the words that we're using and consciously speaking or manifesting what we don't want, or becoming so precise in what we think we want, we miss out on the opportunities that we actually need. So by choosing a couple uplifting words and really trying to embody those and live those out, we afford ourselves the opportunity to expand our horizons in new ways that we never previously saw fit. So my goal to you, or my task to you, or homework for you, if you so choose, in this upcoming year, think of 2 words that you would like to instill and embody in your life. And then think of how you can do that. And as you go forward, the interesting thing about that is you will recognize, in my own personal experience, you will recognize how the current situations that you are faced with, how those words relate to it. And it's a much more expansive way, rather than saying, I'm going to go to the gym X amount of times a week, which is very easy to screw up and then defeat yourself over it. But if you say, I'm going to make healthier choices, just as an example. So healthier choices was not smoking, but it also implies drinking more water. It also implies taking more, getting more rest. It implies looking at relationships. Just like expansion has a multitude of fronts, or attraction has a multitude of fronts, and it applies to every facet of my life. And when you begin to choose words that apply to various areas of your life, first off, you become more aware of acting upon it and making choices which reflect that. The other thing is, the more that you are acting upon that and making choices that reflect that, the more you're consciously building it. The more you're consciously building it, the stronger your ability to manifest other things in your life becomes. So we really focus on the snowball effect in self-destructive ways, or in ways that we don't want. But we tend to forget that we can also create the snowball effect in a way that we do want, and that ultimately we are responsible for our emotions, for our life around us, and for everything that we want or don't want in our life ultimately comes down to us. So with that, if you're listening to this around the Christmas holiday or whatever you celebrate, happy holidays. Be safe. If you're going to drink and drive, don't do it. If you're going to drink, don't drive, I guess is the point I'm trying to make. Call an Uber, call a friend, stay where you're at. This is a very difficult time for people with substance abuse issues and mental health issues. And as somebody who's lived with both, I completely understand it. I just ask you that you make choices that reflect your highest self. Don't put yourself in danger. And if you are in a place where you can't put yourself, where you can't give yourself that kind of respect and not put yourself in danger, don't put other people in danger for your own reasons. Please be careful, be safe, be blessed, enjoy the season, enjoy your family, and Happy New Year's. Talk to y'all in 2019. Peace. Thanks for listening to the Spiritual Phoenix podcast. Tune in next week for another brand new episode.